Yes, I thought I had it on. I must have bumped it off. Sorry. Y'all just missed a great speech. A long and cooperative relationship with Commissioner Myers. I've known Andy for about 30 years, I guess. I was 100 pounds lighter and he had hair. Alderman Stagley and Alderwoman Baker also have a long and long-standing relationship with Commissioner Myers, and both know Mr. Pachucas well. And Robert, we want to thank you for joining us. So I'm moving on to item B. But before moving to the items listed in item B, I want to point out to council that City Administrator Nick Habe, Tia Baker, and myself met with Robert and the Commissioner last week for about an hour, something like that. And it was a very productive meeting and an eye-opener for me. I'm not involved too much in county business. And council, I was kind of surprised at some of the things that we might be discussing about. So if you have any questions, please jump in there and ask them. And at this time, what I'd like to do, Robert, if I could, is get you to tell us a little bit more about the possibilities of the county via the Commissioner Myers inviting us into a county assistance district, which I was unfamiliar with. I kept hearing CAD, and found out there was two CADs. But if you would, how they work and what it might mean for the city of Meadows Place.
Sure. Mayor, thank you, and to the council, I appreciate y'all having me tonight. So this is great. We will be your Commissioner's office starting January 1st, 2022. We're excited to represent you guys, and do appreciate y'all's time when we met, I guess, last week or the week before, whenever it was. I do have a good relationship with Ms. Baker and with Mr. Stagley. We've worked together. Rick and I have worked together for 7 years now, and probably the same with Tia. So I do have a pretty good relationship with at least part of your council, Mayor, and I'm looking forward to working with the rest of you guys and with Nick and developing a great relationship between our office and the city. With that said, when we did meet and talked about what we can do inside the city, we did bring up county assistance districts, and just a quick history on that. Our office, when we were located in the Katy-Fulshear area, we had created, in my time, I believe it was 5 county assistance districts, 2 of them being both in the ETJ and city limits of Fulshear and Simonton. I've authored a lot of the legislation that you see in the local government code for county assistance districts, and part of the legislation that I've helped author was local government code section 387.0031, which specifically pertains to what we can do inside city limits with a county assistance district. Now, if you need me to repeat it, it's local government code 387.0031. And Rick's a little bit familiar with how this all operates, and his office, his department has helped our office out quite a bit with this. So he's got more familiarity than just about anybody else in the county on how this will go.
Why don't you be our volunteer project manager on?
So I would definitely recommend Mr. Stagley for leading this. What we can do under this code, the wording allows for a district to be put in a municipality as long as the municipality consents to the inclusion. We've done this inside the city of Fulshear. We've done this inside the city of Simonton. What it allows us to do is fund projects or help fund projects that would not otherwise be funded. It does not take an election. It just simply takes an order by the governing body, which in this case would be the Commissioner's Court, as long as we do have that consent from the city. We do not need to create another county assistance district. What we would do is we would simply take one of the districts that we currently have and place it on your roads or drainage areas, whatever was decided. And
Robert, can I ask a question
yes,
right
sir.
there?
Yep.
A lot of things I'm familiar with, they've got to be butted up against one another, or tied to one another. Can you have these set apart?
In 2017, we passed legislation that allowed us to have non-contiguous districts. So you have instances all in Precinct 3 that probably drove Rick's staff nuts, where we've got, just strips of right-of-way put into a certain county assistance district just so that we could fund a project. So if you look at true maps of what we've done, I mean, Bowser Road in Weston Lakes is in one CAD, meanwhile it's surrounded by another CAD. So yes, we can do that. We do it all the time. With the way that the Commissioner's Court is shaping up, I would expect you guys, the whole county, to see a lot more of that now that the Commissioner precincts have shifted. And that's part of what we're doing now is trying to take one or two of our districts and bring them over into Meadows Place to help you guys out with some of your projects. So basically we're using this language in the local government code to justify what we can do, which is bring a district inside Yell City and possibly partner on some projects. You guys had given me a general idea of what you guys were looking for over the next few years, and we're here to help and offer you guys our assistance in funding some of this.
Well, that excites us. It excited me. And Nick, I think you have a pretty good understanding of what it would take for us to put some paperwork together to work with the county to do that.
So what council would do is essentially, and we'll work with the county on this, and in fact we have a template now. Robert and I have shared some info, but we would put in front of council a petition to be included in whichever CAD we get into. Council would approve that at a council meeting, and we would then send that on to the county. And I imagine you guys would put that in front of the Commissioner's Court at that time.
Yeah, we'll take your petition and run with that. I would say we need to figure out which district. I'd want to work with Alderman Stagley on that and work with the commissioner, but we will be able to include you guys in one of the districts. So I would just ask I would ask you guys to just give us a few more days to do that, and we could get it, on an agenda in late December or early January to actually take action on the petition, if that works for you guys.
Yeah, I guess my question is, what constitutes the decision on which district to? Since we're getting added, is it just a matter of logistics of is it based on funding? Is it based on projects? Is it based on what criteria?
I had managerial responsibility over 6 of the county assistance districts. I've got a good idea of which districts have the most funding. That said, they're mostly in Commissioner Morales' precinct now. So the one that's closest to you guys is County Assistance District numbers 6, 2, and 11. 11 was one that I had direct control over. I would prefer to, my personal preference would be to put it in County Assistance District number 11, since before redistricting, our office was quite literally begging other governmental entities to take the money, and we could not get any takers. So hopefully you guys will be our first taker.
We'll take it.
So I guess I'm putting that on the record that the Precinct 3 utility districts would not actually take free money.
Okay. David, did that answer your question? Okay.
And just so everybody understands, this does not affect our sales tax collections at all. This will be sales tax collected in other areas that then gets spent here.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier. This will have no impact on the city financially whatsoever.
Yeah, because we're 1 square mile with no money.
No negative.
Okay. Robert, I appreciate it. Do you have anything else, anybody? Because if If you want to stick around and go through this as we go through this, you're more than happy to. But if you want to say, hey, I've had it, thanks, but I've had an evening of it, and take the list with you so we can call them reference, that's up to you, or you can hang around as long as you want to.
If y'all want me here, I've got time. I've got to get my kids by 8, but it's really y'all's
I guess
call.
I have one other question then. If we're on this list, is there, and if you've seen this or reviewed it, are there things on here that are not good candidates for CAD?
They haven't been sent to them
Yeah,
yet.
they
That's what
haven't
we're
seen
here to
it
talk
yet.
about.
So-
He's seeing them right with us.
So the purpose of this right now is you guys haven't seen this list yet, so we wanted to workshop this list with you, council. Not only that, but also get your feedback on the prioritization of these items, just so that we could let the county know what we think is the most important for funding.
Okay.
Then we would run it through the county to make sure it was eligible, et cetera. But really, this is sort of a family meeting in here before we send it on to the county with one unified voice.
Robert, real quick, where is CAD 11 located? Just out of curiosity.
The general boundaries of that specific county assistance district are south of 1093, running east and west from FM 723 to right outside this area. I cannot remember the road.
I think it goes to Bernie. I don't think it goes. I think it goes to at least 6 and maybe to Bernie.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Again, being non-contiguous, that
Just more
legislative.
curiosity.
Yeah.
And also, before we get to this list, can you tell us what the most common items are that the CADs have helped cities with in the past?
I am a big proponent of mobility projects. So just a general history, we'll throw money at roads. We just recently threw, I believe it was $8.5 million at a county library. I believe Commissioner DeMerchant, what was it, Rick, that he's doing? He's putting a few $1 million towards.
There's some bike projects that are being done, sidewalk projects,
Yeah.
Drainage improvements, stuff like that.
All the commissioners' offices generally use it for the same purpose, facilities, sidewalks, and roads.
Okay, perfect.
My personal preference is roads and the law enforcement.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, council, with that, I want to take it back over for just a second because you'll notice this list, and this is time for us to kick it around and read it. We'll just go page by page and look at it. We sat down, Nick, Rod, and I, and basically pulled the stuff off the CIP. Nick, and then when it went over and spent some time with Rod, Anna Maria, et cetera, and kind of massaged it to close to the list that you see here. He and I then met again for about an hour, the other day, last week, I guess, and put the order in, and we bumped a couple of projects out. So we don't have everything in our CIP covered here. And we put some things up to the top that was had been in the bottom or been in the middle of the CIP simply because of trying to find money to fund it. Okay? However, if we're going to get county assistance on some of this stuff or pick up portion or all of it, then we will, and our partner with us on it. Then this is the order that we chose. It's certainly not locked in stone, but this was the order that we chose it. And so don't be bashful of saying why or I think, and let's look at moving it around. But we can all start with the one on the top. And Rick, I'm going to let you take and explain that to Robert and to us because we've got a pretty hard number on this that we're pretty comfortable with. And that's the Dorrance project.
So we've started the design for the first 2 blocks of Dorrance, a reconstruction, replace the pavement, and with the intent of doing it in phases, and then once we get that one done, continuing to work all the way to Derry Ashford. We've been doing it or the plan is pay as you go. As we get enough money put aside, then we would go do another block. If we can advance it, we had considered putting in part of that as the next mobility bond projects, but if we can get some of it funded through the CAD, we could advance it that way as well. It's, just replacing what was there for the most part. We're replacing water lines, streets, sidewalks, driveway aprons, inlets, but most of the trunk main line for the storm sewer is good. So we're able to reuse that. And so the question we'll have is, can you repair or replace water lines with CAD funding, or would the county just be in part of the streets and the city takes care of the water lines? All that's going to be part of
They're going to do it all, right?
The code specifically talks about associated drainage areas, so we can. It's, I think, more of a preference of what the city's wanting us to participate in more than anything. We'll obviously want hard costs, or at least close estimates to what you guys are looking at, and we can figure out a cost sharing as the phases go on.
And I think part of, Charlie, when we're talking about prioritizing this, I think part of it's going to be understanding what that funding is.
Yes.
Because we can spend it as fast as the county gives it to us. We've got an estimate of $85 million to replace all the streets and water lines in the city. We've already been through that exercise. So at $1 million a year, that's 100 years. At $2 million, that's 50 years. And so, we'll advance our projects as fast as we can put money aside through all the sources, and that's going to include the money we're putting aside from sales tax, ad valorem, the EDC, any assistance we can get from the county.
So because Dorrance is in motion, that's number one, and that's why it's at the top of the list. We have, we'll be talking about that when, is that later tonight or tomorrow? But have we called, we haven't broken a time out to talk about the Dorrance funding specifically. This first, okay. Okay, so Robert, we need a number from you tonight. How much? No.
And just like that, we went to Symington.
Yes. So that's why that's number one. And I think one of the things, Rick, if I'm hearing you right, we feel comfortable in being able to walk this thing through in steps based on the county assistance through the CAD with what I have and what we will do is on the page you go.
Right. We've got 100% plans for Dorrance from Bloomington to Kirkwood now.
And that's the street, that's the one street that traverses the entire length of our city. And it's the main street. And according to our city administrator, our EDC, it's the only one that they can really help with because it's part of our economic development, or economic driving.
And so, right now we're deciding when to bid that project. We were looking at January, February. We kind of put that on hold to see what this discussion leads to. But our intent is once we get the second phase or the second block of that done or in construction, we would start design on the next phase, which would be Kirkwood to Amblewood.
What are you looking at as far as numbers with the, what do you say, Bloomington to Kirkwood?
So the phase one was 2.7 right now.
Well, 2.7.
Right. We've got the plans broke up into two phases, one block each. And so phase one was about 1.3 million and phase two is 1.4.
But that's for the construction cost only, right?
Correct.
So what you see,
Engineering.
so council, what you see on this sheet right here is the gross number of 10.4 includes the construction costs for phase 1 and 2. We backed out the engineering because that's already done. And then the balance of that's going to be both design and construction cost estimate for the rest of it. And the way we came up with that number was we basically did a a dirty math job of figuring out what we're going to build per linear foot for what we've already designed, and then extrapolate that for the rest of it. So you've got about 5,000 linear feet from the beginning to the end of Kirkwood, and so that's what the 10.4 shows you right there.
And that includes a contingency for engineering on the rest of it, correct?
Rick assures me this is within 5% of what it's actually going to cost.
All right.
Did you get that, Courtney? Okay.
Put that boldly. So that's why we've got that up number one. As you know, we've got plans right now. We're working with, Rod is working with USW to get moving on the rehabilitation of the wastewater treatment plant, which includes the scope of work as it's listed here, which is basically a complete rebuild of everything but the tank. And that's going to be just right under $1 million. And that's going to be something that we're going to be trying to move ahead on, Robert. And again, this is set through, and we're planning on trying to use ARPA money for some of this. And so if y'all have some ARPA money laying around, which does for wastewater and water treatment, which we've got some more water treatment requirements, we'll take all your ARPA money that you'll throw our way too.
I just texted the rest of my team asking that question if we've got any ARPA funds, and just got a response back that we do have funds for this. So what I would recommend to the council, looking at the wastewater. Okay, yeah, I'm getting texts from everybody on the team right now. What I would recommend is that y'all send a request up to our office to place this on the agenda. We would need something official. We just did this with Fort Bend Mud 37, which is Pin Oak Village in the Katy area. Literally did this last month, where we contributed funds for their wastewater treatment plant rehab. So there's precedence to fund this type of stuff. So I would implore you all to
we have
do that.
The figures already coming in from USW. Is that okay? Do we have enough to send that into the county, do you think?
I think as long as it's a preliminary engineering estimate, that'd be enough for the county, right, Robert?
All we're going to need is a preliminary estimate, and that way we can get the money allocated. That literally all it's going to take is an estimate from y'all with a request signed off by the city. Get that on the agenda. We could do that by the end of the year, and hopefully the rest of the court would go along with throwing some money at this. What we did with Mud 37, I believe it was it's either 75-25 or a 50-50 cost share. I'd have to go back and check my records, but we did fund a substantial amount. It was $200,000+ that we funded for that project.
So our call to action is to get that estimate together and get it over there.
And when Robert says we can possibly do it this month, the deadline to get on the 21st agenda is going to be probably the 13th.
When does that mean? So we're going to have a special meeting on the 12th then? So we can.
Well, let me ask this, Robert. Would it suffice if, let's say, council did go ahead and take action tonight? Would it suffice if you, let's say, got a letter from the mayor certifying the council's action, saying that this is what we're requesting?
Yes.
Okay.
He said, can we just get a letter from the mayor? Would that suffice? Okay, y'all work that out. So we know what we're doing.
So we don't have to backtrack. I move to authorize the mayor and city secretary to submit a letter to the county regarding the wastewater treatment plant for ARPA funding based on the estimate of $950,000.
Second that.
Second that by Tia. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. All right. Plus, we had mac and cheese. Moving on to water and wastewater treatment plant. We've got a water plant that was built in the 60s. This part was probably built in the early 70s. I tried to find out via Google Earth. By 75, it was done. 68, it wasn't. So I'm pretty comfortable saying it was in between there and then. So things are wearing out. And those are old lift pumps. And we're trying to replace 2 of them. They're pretty expensive. Plus, it would take, we're going to get new variable speed, more efficient, and modern controls. And we're pretty confident in this cost estimate because we've got them of $175,000. Would this be something that we could also submit? Or would we be better off waiting a month?
Mayor, I would recommend that you ask for as much as you can right now. Looking at the list.
Separate ones? Rick? In separate asks or the same?
If what I would recommend is that you send one request with it, bullet pointed out, a list of projects that you would like for the county to consider with the total cost. That way we can
of everything, road and everything, or for ARPA money?
Just talking about the ARPA right now.
Yeah, that's what I want to clarify.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so
can we modify
the wastewater, the lift station.
Okay.
So, truthfully, I haven't been paying too much attention to the ARPA funding because it's not under our department. I guess, what are they funding? Is it generators? Is it
I'll run down the
everything?
List. I'll run down the list for you real quick. The wastewater treatment plant's a yes for that fitting ARPA. So is the lift station, the wastewater treatment plant. I believe the EOC generator as well. Water plant number 3. The next wastewater treatment plant, the City Hall generator. Those are the items I can say with pretty strong confidence would be good requests for ARPA funding.
Probably not.
Did we get that? Everybody get that? I lost it. Okay, you got it.
It's basically everything down through City Hall generator. Are we sure City Hall generator would be ARPA?
I believe it would be based off of emergency operations. You could justify it under that.
And they can always tell us no, that it's not eligible and kick it back to us.
The county does have a consultant that we have to run through for any of these requests, and they're pretty good about getting back to us in a quick turnaround with all that.
Can we amend our motion to?
I think I'll have to do a separate motion because we already voted.
Do a new motion listing all of them.
So I move to add the following items to the mayor's letter: the lift station pump replacement, wastewater treatment plant, EOC generator for emergency operations center, water plant number 3 generator, wastewater treatment plant generator, and City Hall generator to the request for ARPA funding.
You got it? Is that all? I second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
And then as we continue on the capital improvement list, anything that gets rejected, we can always come back and possibly add to the
Request through the
the CAD request.
Okay. I think we are too. If that runs us down all the way down to the next one, which is automation, SCADA, upgraded water and wastewater treatment plants. I know these two down here, David and Kurt, have got a real good understanding of what we're requesting, council, because Rod spent about 30 minutes on it and the importance of it and what it's doing for us not to have it and why we're having to do so much work every morning manually that could be done automatically. So that's why this is it. And plus, it allows him better control, especially where we can tie into the lake water and the reclaimed water. We've got a big reclaimed water project here in City Meadows Place, and that would all be part of that project as well. And that would be and it's sitting down where it is because everything above it is classified more critical. Okay, we can do this, but if we can get this done, it would simplify our moving forward with automation in our water system plus our recycle system. The drainage outfall repairs, we just completed one. Frankly, I meant to ask Rod today how much that cost us. Seems to me that was about almost $40,000. We just had our second one in the past few years collapse. We've got 12 to go, and it's the time, and everything's wearing out at the same time. And Rick, what are those? There's two different sizes, I know.
A lot of them are 24s, but we've got up to 60-inch outfalls coming into that ditch.
So we've got
most of the ones that are failing are the 24s to 36s.
Because I think we've done one that was in the threes, either 30 or 36. So okay, so that's why that's there. Now, is this going to kill us if we don't get this done? No, because we're going to end up doing them one at a time under an emergency basis. And as we go through our reserves to fund Dorrance, et cetera, this is going to be an area that we're just not going to have a lot of money to fund with. So that's why we put this on the list to put it under the CAD. Okay. Amblewood rehabilitation. This is another infrastructure, Robert, that when we sat down, council, couple years ago, maybe almost 3, to just divvy up the city to start this project, and we actually picked 5 main streets to work and figured out which ones to do it first, and we came up with this would be another main, or a north-south tributary or a roadway to repair, and it carries quite a bit of traffic. And so this is why we chose that one. And this is, again, $4,100,000 is what we have. Guesstimates per linear foot with the addition of the engineering and design on top of it. Okay? So that's why that one's there.
I would just chime in real quick, Mayor, and say, given where it is on the list, I would say the county is already talking about the possibility of another bond as early as 2023, 2024, that has been kicked around a few times already. I'm sure that you've heard from the other members of the court here and there. maybe not, I don't know. You've heard from at least one.
Everything we're hearing still leads to 2023.
Yeah.
As long as we can start spending the 2020 bond money, which most of those are already under contract for design, and so we'll start burning through that money pretty quick.
Yeah. I would recommend that this be considered for a request to our office for inclusion on the 2023-2024 mobility bond package.
Okay, so I'm going to listen to the guy with the purse strings, and we'll pull this from this list, council. It's going to be my recommendation. And then when the 2023 Fort Bend Mobility Bond Project comes up, we'll include that as our request, which, if I'd like to serve a reminder, that's what we did Airport with and what we did Kirkwood with, was part of the County Mobility Bond Project. Which takes us down to sanitary sewer. I really want to see this done. The smoke test part would be fun to watch.
Well, the smoke test isn't that expensive.
I said that's what I wanted to see for the fun of it. Yes, but what it is, and we've done that in City Meadows Place prior to me coming on to council. Dan McGraw has talked about it, and some of the things that you find out when you run a smoke test. Nick is very familiar with the funny things that you find out when you run a smoke test, and it basically, you sit down there and blow smoke in your lines, and where it comes out, you probably have a problem, and you can have it. And we do have an increased, more water than we should during a rain, so we're pulling water in from places that we shouldn't. So. And that's right now. And again, Robert, I don't know if this would fall under the CAD, but this is something that we've got a fairly comfortable cost estimate on. So I'd like to leave that in there if you think it would be.
Yes, sir. I'd say this is something we could consider.
Okay. Recycle storage tank. Council is aware that we've got some purple pipe in place. We're just waiting on the water storage and distribution to get that done. It kind of got bumped back due to some other stuff. And we'd like to put this together. It'd be $150,000 basically. Robert, it's a storage tank, 50,000 gallon storage tank, some line to connect up to existing purple pipe that we've already put in, like on Kirkwood and in our parks. So.
Is this located in public property, public right-of-way?
It'd be at our wastewater treatment plant.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we've got a spot for it already, and basically we're producing more recycled water than we can store at this point in time, so we just need a larger storage tank.
Okay. The reason I ask, Mayor, is everything has to be on public right-of-way / property. So this one, I didn't know if it was located on public property. Sometimes these are located on. I've seen these located elsewhere where we couldn't get access to it. That's why I had the question.
Oh no, that wouldn't be the case here at all. Fishing pier, non-motorized boat dock. That's a parks project that we would request in. I don't know if that would fall under CAD funding or not.
This is an interesting one, given that we do have parks bond money that we would like to spend. So this one might be a little easier in that we could just not even have to worry about any actual request or interlocal agreement or the like, and just simply throw money at you guys.
So let me ask you this. What's my call to action to get that funding?
I'll be in the office tomorrow, and I'll start working with our parks director and ask him to give me $20,000, I guess. So,
okay.
We do have a substantial amount of money for each precinct. I believe it was, $7 million.
Oh, that was $200,000. Yeah, Mr. Zero.
A lot of the money has been allocated out, but I think we've got enough wiggle room to throw
this as an ongoing parks project. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And you'll see this utilized. Craig, you'll have to come out and watch. I mean, it's it's an exciting opportunity for me, and I invite you out, by the way, if you got nothing better to do, come watch our trout release. And that's on, Tuesday, to come out and see us when they put
You
that
gotta bring
in.
the kids with you.
My son will enjoy seeing some trout fly.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, is that next Tuesday?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
It is between 11 and 12, depending on Texas Parks and Wildlife. That's when they're going to launch them, and there's a couple people who will be here early that morning to get their spots, and they start fishing, and you'll see fly fishermen. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Will the kids be out as well from the school?
Our elementary school will come over for the program, at least the 4th and 5th graders.
I haven't heard back from Fort Bend ISD on the release yet.
Okay.
Okay, so we're hoping that they do. New roof on the field house, metal roof replacement. Of course, that roof went in years ago. We can look on the building, but I forget when that building was put up. That's the original roof. It's standing steel seam, but it's in need of repair. Tennis court resurfacing. Alderman Stagley's been following this for a long time.
Can I get money to rip the tennis courts out?
No, it's used every day. No. We have highly used tennis court resurfacing, tennis court usage, and we just never had the money to resurface and do the whole thing.
This would again fall under a parks bond.
So you had $7 million. This isn't even a dent in it. So,
I do want to make it clear. A lot of it is allocated, but I can go back to our.
he's got it. He's going to talk to his parks director.
Yes, sir. I wouldn't need anything from you guys. I'm going to take this back and review it with our parks director, if that's okay with you guys.
Okay. Then we have the Fort Bend Mobility Bond Project. That's just to remind everybody that we have that ongoing. In the City Meadows Place portion at this point is about $500,000.
And we already have an interlocal agreement with the county on
Correct.
how we're going to spend money on this project, so that's why you see that highlighted in theirs, because the die has been cast on this one.
And so the point was, we're already working with the county on this, and we have in the past, so we can. Then down at the bottom is a biggie. We contracted with Hewitt Zollers. I think you're familiar with them. The city had come in. They did one of those complete needs assessment where they talked to everybody, and they walked around and they measured and all that kind of good stuff, and to increase efficiencies and safety, security, and things like that, including a new an upgrade for our police department. With what's that thing that porte-cochere thing? What is that called? Sallyport. Yeah, that's closed-in porte-cochere. Including the Sallyport, that type of thing, because we're just not prepared. I mean, we do it, but it includes things like that, and it came to a total of $8 million. So if you have $8 million plus laying around doing nothing, these people would consider it, and I say them because I'm happy with the way it is. But we did ask the question, and we got an answer, and it was quite dynamic. So that's why that's on that list. And if you want to see the plans or anything, next time you come over and have a cup of coffee or something, we'll show them to you. Council, that's basically where I am, and we've run through this. And there's a bunch still on the CIP that's not included on this, but this were the things that we thought would be applicable under ARPA and CAD. It looks like we guessed pretty good. So, Robert, you have any questions for us or anything?
No, sir. I do appreciate y'all presenting this to us. I'll be working with the commissioner and our staff starting tomorrow on this. And if I do have any questions, I'll be working with Nick on all this.
Perfect. Anybody else got anything for Robert?
Just thank you for coming and meeting with us. We're really excited about the possibility of partnering with the county and seeing what you guys can do to help us.
Yes.
We're excited. We're very happy to be out here. We're looking forward to working with you guys, building some new relationships, and getting to work. So thanks for having me.
You bet.
Robert,
It's going to be a new interesting dynamic when everybody's working in a new field, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right.
Robert, you may want to listen in on item D because it is talking about that mobility project. It won't take us that long to get through it, I don't think.
Fine by me, yeah.
I think item C we've already covered, have we not?
Well, I approve, or my motion was to submit the capital and projects. It wasn't for the consent letter. So, somebody else want to make that motion?
Well, no,
Well-
we're not. This was a placeholder item because we just wanted to put it in there in case we had the letter ready to go, but obviously we don't. So as soon as we get these details from the county on which CAD it is, et cetera, then we can get that consent letter drafted up, and we'll put that on a future council agenda.
Yeah, I'll get with Nick when we make our final determination. I'll also be working with Rick on this. I'll get his staff to work on the maps that will need to be done. I'm sure, Rick, you can work with your team and finalize that. But we'll get with you guys very quickly once we determine which district we want to utilize.
Okay.
Can we authorize that consent tonight?
Do we need to do it?
We really need to have the document in front of you
Yeah.
for council to authorize the mayor, or council to authorize the mayor to sign it. So.
Okay. So we won't, I'm just going to put table on item C. No action to be taken. Item D, discussion and possible action regarding the location and timing of the Fort Bend Mobility Bond Project. This is the one that was highlighted earlier. And what we're seeing here is possible pipeline or trail location due to the possible pipeline on the west side. Rick, I'm going to let you take this because you've been in conversation with CenterPoint and the pipeline folks.
Sure. We did get a response back from CenterPoint last week. They don't have the schedule for the pipeline as yet or the final design. However, they do know that it's going to be on the east side of their property, which fits it right beside the ditch. So our choice is obviously move somewhere else so that the pipeline doesn't rip up our trail. We thought we were going to go on the western edge of the fee easement at that point, but we found out there's a 30-foot Kinder Morgan easement on that side, and I can tell you that Kinder Morgan is tough to deal with. And so CenterPoint has recommended that we kind of snake through the center of their property between towers. It's not my favorite location,
Not anybody's.
but our choice is either go there or wait for the pipeline to go in and see if we can go above the pipeline. Currently, this pipeline was scheduled for August of 2022. If they still can't tell us where it's going in the easement, I can tell you it's not going to be built in August of 2022. So the question to the council is, do we want to go in the center or do we want to postpone this project by a year or more?
Question, since we can't go to the west, would that also prevent them from going to the west side of the tower? So the only place we would be able to go logically is probably either right next to it after they put it in or in the center.
Right.
Okay.
And if you put it too close to that pipeline, if they have to come work on that pipeline, they're going to damage our trail. Now, a new pipeline, it's probably going to be 30 years before they touch it again, at least.
But that pipe's guaranteed for years, so don't worry about it.
Well, we're talking postponing this for three to 4 years then.
I'd say a couple, guys, this pipeline, if they're trying to get pipelines, if people will let them put them in, they're trying to put them in. But Rick points out, if they're wanting to start in August, and they don't have a laid out location, you can't look up on this map that they got a backhoe somewhere, then they're probably not going to make it. Okay, just how long is the guess is how long is it going to be? I don't know. I mean, I've seen them lay pipeline, and they can do it in a hurry. But doesn't look to me like they've even got it started. I don't know what to say. Council, I have a question, Rick, before that. Looking at this, I'm interested in two things. One of them's a parking lot, okay? Because we need that for the EOC and additional training, and this has to do with our police department and security and all that type of stuff that we train with other departments on. So we need that training station, and also the bridge across the bayou. Now, if they're going to be putting it on that west side or on the east side, we're not going to be able to start on that until that pipeline's done.
We won't be able to put the bridge in, but we could put the rest of the trail in.
Yes. Yeah.
And truthfully, we could probably put the bridge in. We'll just have a gap 20, 30 feet that we'll have to fill in once the pipeline
You're talking about on the trail.
Yeah.
So you think we could get the footings in and get the bridge up? Oh, let's go.
So, I mean,
How sure of that are you?
well, the footings should be in the drainage easement. It
In the
should
county
not
right away, right?
It should not be in Center Point, so we should be fine. Yeah.
Well, guess what? There, the trail is there.
Kids will walk across the grass.
Yeah.
Or even if we put in 30 feet of decomposed
granite.
granite and it gets ripped up, that's not a big hardship.
No, that's not. Well, I'm in favor of going ahead with that then. How do we get that started?
Well, that's the question for council. Do we want to just go ahead and move ahead with putting it down the center rather than wait?
I'm not the biggest fan of going right down the middle.
Well, I'm not a fan either, but I don't know that I want to wait a year or 2 years either.
Well, when do you think we will know the final location of the pipeline?
That's the
I
question.
mean, if we're going to find out in 3 months,
Then you wait.
it's worth waiting 3 months.
But if we're going to try to go over there, we're going to wait till that construction's done through the city before we start ours.
At least we'll know.
But before we start our trail, but that doesn't have anything to do with the parking lot or the
Bridge.
Not necessarily you're just going to pay more by breaking it out.
How much more?
20%? At least 20% more especially on the parking lot.
I can't think of another example, and you guys probably have one. I can't think of one offhand where a trail does go right through the middle. My old house used to back up to Lost Creek Park, and everything went right through it and then around it, which anytime you walked underneath it, especially when they're buzzing, a lot of times in the mornings you get the fog on it. People don't like it. I know, people kind of walk quickly, and I don't know if I feel like people are going to feel
They're
comfortable.
just getting their heart rate up.
Something. So I'm a little hesitant to say, let's go ahead and do something in the middle. I'd rather do it right and do it to where people are going to use it than,
Rick, I'm in favor of I'd like to see what Centerpoint, see if they have contacted, if they have a date that they'll throw out there. I mean, if they put an August 1 date on it, okay, how certain are they? I mean, if they're saying, it's August plus or minus 90 days, I'm kind of waiting. I'm with Kurt on this. Let's wait.
Okay. I'm fine with waiting, and whether that's 2-3 months. This is a 2020 mobility bond project, so I don't think the county's going to get upset if we delay a little bit on this stuff.
No,
It's not like West Airport and Kirkwood where we were spending money in 2017 on a 2007 bond project.
Yeah, but we saved the county dang near $1 million. They didn't mind then either.
with the costs that we're seeing with some of the bids that are coming back, I don't think we're going to be upset with the delay on
Little
any of
delay.
this.
Okay.
David, what are your thoughts?
Okay.
Let's do that, and then
I'll get back with Centerpoint, ask for if they've got a new or any idea when they'll be actually starting construction in this area.
in this area.
And then would there be concern if we went not over the pipeline, but within that easement area, 10 feet, 15 feet, whatever it is? Kinder Morgan, I don't know that we'd ever even get a response from them.
Rick, I would say, because I think we could get a response from Kinder Morgan.
No?
However, that response is very likely to be no. When we did our reclaimed water line and we had to cross that, we weren't allowed to work on that line until that guy showed up and got out of his pickup truck. And we got pictures, maybe on that wall out there, that guy was there. And if he went to lunch, we didn't work. I mean, that's, and you know, and it's good for them. I mean, guys, it's I have a lot of respect for that, because the 30-inch pipeline will blow a big hole in the ground. And so it's council, it's our consensus, then we're just going to let Rick go ahead and touch base, see what you come back with, and
Hopefully I'll have something by the December meeting.
that sounds good. I like that. I think that's the best we can do right now, because I want to go ahead and get that parking lot in, and I want to get that, if we can do the bridges just in the county, the 20% bite is.
Yeah. And if you didn't hear, my title is Volunteer Project Manager.
Yeah,
He's very appreciated, by the way.
yeah. All right. Well, with that, I think we've covered a whole lot of stuff tonight. Robert, thank you so much for being here and clarifying some stuff and for coming prepared. Thank you very much for that. Unless there's anything else, let's move on to item E, which is adjourn. Kelly?
Moved. David?
Did-
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, David
Make
moved.
motion, yeah?
Kurt second. Any further discussion on adjournment? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. This was a good meeting.